2020, Superintendent David Broski here. As the leader of the Clay County District Schools, I'm excited to honor your milestone as you graduate high school. Graduation is an exciting time in a young person's life that celebrates the culmination of all of your hard work over the past 13 years. That excitement is not felt just by you, your family members, your friends, coaches, teachers, school administrators. We all share a role in your development to make you the person that you are today. We're extremely proud of your accomplishments, especially during these difficult times of distance learning and postponed celebrations. As you prepare to achieve your future goals and dreams, whether you enter the world of work, whether you go to college and enroll in college, or whether you join our fabulous military. My hope is that you look back on the achievements that you've achieved, lifelong friendships, and lessons learned while attending Clay County District Schools. I am 100% confident that you can tackle anything you want to if you just put your mind to it. As we currently navigate through these unprecedented times in our nation's history, I know that the conclusion of your senior year has looked very different than what you would have ever imagined. And you know what? Me too, okay? I thank you, class of 2020, for your resiliency, your advocacy, and your passion. You have truly left a mark on the Clay County community. I cannot wait to see what the class of graduating seniors accomplishes in life. Best of luck, class of 2020.
Good evening, and welcome to the Class of 2020 Virtual Senior Graduation Ceremony. I'm Mr. Pittman, principal here at Fleming High School, and I'm honored that I'm able to say a few words to our Class of 2020 graduates. I'm in disbelief, along with everyone else, that with this school year came to a close during a worldwide pandemic. No one would have expected that when we left school on March 13th, it would be the last time you'd walk the hallways of Fleming Island High School as seniors. The class of 2020 will always be known for their resiliency. Hopefully, we will reflect on the good that has and will come from our current situation. I've seen and heard about families spending more time at the dinner table, going on walks, having fun together than ever before. It has allowed us to step back from the daily grind of our busy lives and appreciate the people around us that love us the most. The class of 2020 has shown admirable perseverance during this time. Perseverance is persistence and doing something despite difficulty or delaying and achieving success. Your class has proven that you can be a success no matter what obstacles are thrown in your pathway. Your senior class motto here was by Robert Frost. In 3 words, I can sum everything I learned about life. It goes on. It's disappointing to have missed so many anticipated events during this pandemic, but there are many more great things ahead. Some of you will be off to college in the fall, or the military, joining the workforce, or maybe you're not quite sure what's written in your next chapter. Just remember your priorities in order as you move forward in life. It is a major accomplishment in life to have earned a degree from high school. All of us, your parents, your family, your teachers, the support employees, the administration, and myself are so proud of each and every one of you. Congratulations to all of you, the graduates of Fleming Island High School Class of 2020, and remember, you're always welcome to come back and see us here at Fleming Island High School. Go Golden Eagles.
Class of 2020, I'm beyond grateful to be a part of the best class to walk through these halls here at Fleming Island. The last 4 years have blessed me with classmates I can't wait to see succeed in the near future, and memories that will last me a lifetime. Although our senior year didn't end up the way we envisioned, it's important to recognize your accomplishments and acknowledge your resilience. Because throughout our lifetime, we've endured through the unimaginable. And yet, we continue to be the generation who leads the way for healing. The pandemic quickly changed our lives and has taught us about sacrifice, teaching us the importance of putting the greater good above our own personal desires. These past months have forced us to learn that tomorrow is never promised. But without hesitancy, you continue to pursue your goals both academically and personally. You've become your own waymakers by adapting to the challenges thrown our way and taking one step closer to your goals. Class of 2020, One of those goals was to finish out this academic semester and prepare for our next step in life, because it is then when we will truly impact the world around us. We're an activist generation filled with love and a heart to care for others. We give each other the freedom to express ourselves, free of criticism and judgment. We accept people for who they are, free of hate and prejudice. You continue to put the betterment of our world above yourself. While it is hard to process what is going on and what tomorrow may bring, I believe that through courage, ambition, and kind hearts, we will be the generation to create cures, to build bridges rather than borders, and we will live lives of significance to better our world and shape our future. Life is a never-ending journey that requires constant growth. I'm proud of you and how much you've grown over the past 4 years. So day by day, as we take our next step in life, remember this. To go where you've never gone before, you're going to need to do what you've never done before. Class of 2020, all the studying, presenting, test taking, and overall work ethic through this time has paid off. You are unstoppable, and I am excited to see how you shape our future. Congratulations.
Good evening. I'm Kayla Herman, and it's an honor to have the opportunity to address you all on what would be the night of the Class of 2020 graduation ceremony. Most of you may not know who I am, but we used to walk the same halls, eat in the same cafeteria, and stand in the same student section every Friday, decked out in green and gold. Until one day we just didn't. Our senior year was cut short by circumstances outside of anyone's control, causing us to miss out on a lot of key moments, big and small. From grad bash and senior prom, to yearbook signings and final goodbyes. But instead of reminiscing about what never was, I think we should take a moment to appreciate all of the memories we did make. Decades from now, when I reflect on my high school experience, I'll remember Chick-fil-A breakfasts and skipped first periods. Sorry, Mr. O. Cackle sleepovers and cookie runs. A woman that made me fall in love with running. A little sister who always had a smile on her face. Pittman falling on a cheerleader during a pep rally. And finally, the strength and unity of the Class of 2020 as we faced more than our fair share of hardships and losses. One thing that won't stand out is grades or exams. I'm up here because I took a lot of classes and did well on a lot of tests. But take it from me, that's not all that high school is about, and your GPA doesn't define you. We all worked very hard to get here, and tonight is a celebration of each and every senior. Education is a broad term, as we learn just as much from our relationships with each other as we do from textbooks and lesson plans. I learned about sharing from my classmates, camaraderie from my teammates, and compassion from my friends. As we graduate, I feel confident and prepared to start the next chapter of my life because of the lessons I learned at Fleming that I wasn't graded on. Responsibility, trust, honesty, and integrity. If there's anything to learn from this coronavirus pandemic, it's that life is completely unpredictable. You can be cruising along, minding your own business, when something totally unexpected happens to make you shift your entire perspective. And you can live in fear of what the future may bring, or you can make the most of the good days by embracing the present and the roller coaster ride that comes with it. The good news about uncertainty is that the bad times don't last either. It may feel like this coronacation has lasted an eternity, but one day, eventually, things will go back to normal. The same way that life is about taking advantage of opportunities as they come, it's also about finding opportunities when it may seem that there are none. This is the most free time most of us will ever have in our lives, as well as our last chance to bond with our families before many of us go off to college, the military, the workforce, or whatever life may bring. So while I'd rather be with you all in person tonight for the most epic graduation selfie of all time, this virtual ceremony will have to be enough for now. To the teachers, parents, and staff, thank you for a wonderful 4 years. We know you mourned the loss of our senior milestones just as much as we did, and we appreciate all you have done to mold us into who we are today. And to the Class of 2020, congratulations, and I'll see you soon.
Now that we're about to graduate, high school is looking more romanticized than ever. With present circumstances, some of us may even be saying that we're missing school for the first time ever. I remember very vividly the times where I only dreaded high school and wish I didn't have to go. But now, looking back, I see that it's provided me with the character necessary to make it through life. This reminds me of a time with my grandpa, Dr. Wilfredo Key Sr. He was a Filipino immigrant and was very traditional. He would always sit me down and talk to me about the importance of doing well in school, and to be honest, I tried to avoid these talks. But now I look back and I cherish these moments I had with him. And during the summer, there was no school, but my grandpa still had plans for me. He bought mounds of mulch as tall as me, and he wanted me to rake them across the persimmon farm that we lived on. He also promised that he would pay me when I was finished. So I would work for hours and hours every day just to rake these piles across the farm. And eventually I got to the river, since the property ends on the St. John's. It took about 3 hours a day for a week, and at the end of each day he would give me anywhere from $5 to $10. I was 16 at the time, and I expected something more like minimum wage, but I never complained, at least not to Grandpa. Later that year, I got a formal job at the Mellow Mushroom, and it was pretty great. And to my surprise, my grandpa was more than happy to drive me to my job, even though it was during the school year and took away time from my studying. For the first time I got to work in air conditioning, I got free soda, and I got paid way more than $10 a day. And even though dealing with guests and bussing tables can get old, I was still prepared for the work because of all that mulching. So in the end, there are going to be things in life that you just don't want to do. And sometimes these things can get unbearably challenging. But they're almost always worth it, because you're going to be more of a person at the end of it, and more opportunities will be opened up just because you went through it. Like in high school, the workload can be overwhelming at times, but in the end, we know that we can use these experiences in the future. And there are always the good parts of these situations, like the dear friends that we've made during our 4 years here. I just recently realized that my grandpa did not want me to be a perfect student. He wanted me to be a hard worker and a good man. Like high school and many other experiences that we will have through our lives, things will get tough. But it's important to keep the light at the end of the tunnel in focus. Even the mulching had its upsides. It taught me to keep working hard, even if those mountains didn't seem to be getting any smaller. It got me to listen to my favorite music, and at the end, I got to enjoy the river.